Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, nerds and turds. So, I think I've made a discovery. You might have seen our past 2 live streams where we've attempted to fix Jose's HomePod here after they had attempted some repairs themselves. And, well, I've found a few things. We found a few issues that we were able to fix up on their amplifier, and then we found that they needed a new display too, and they had also broken the chip off of the microphone simplicity board, which will also cause problems. So, and after all that, somehow we still didn't have any power, and I think I figured it out. If we look at our ribbon cable connector here, it looks like they had accidentally gone in there and stabbed a few of those pins. So I tried to line them back up, and I think I've got it working again. So without having to put everything all back together again, we're gonna go ahead and test this outside really quick and see if this is all working now. Let's get our subwoofer plugged in. Let's grab a known good display here. I would want nothing more than for us to be able to get this fixed for them. I hate no fixies. Very, very rarely do we end up having getting one in where we call it a no fix. And I like to keep it that way. Okay, so still nothing on that, but I'm fairly positive their logic board works. See, there we go. Okay. If they've got a working logic board, I can repair or replace anything else within the repair estimate that we give people. If the logic board is fried and it has to be physically replaced, that's like an automatic $100 repair or no fix. And that's assuming I've got replacement logic boards, which at the moment I am in the negative. I've picked a few from my own personal pods just to fix a few that have come in recently that I promised I'd fix, but
I'm having trouble
connecting. Their logic board works just fine, so seems like even though we tried our best and did all that with the work on their amplifier, it just wasn't quite enough. Oh, I think I actually see what it is. I see more stuff on this amp every time I look. Let me grab a reference board. Yeah, sneaky. Okay, let me show you guys. Let me zoom in here. I think we can still fix this. Any other repair shop would probably have called it quits or replaced the board or basically not sunk this much time into trying to get this working again. But I am freaking committed to this. So, on the top is our broken one, and on the bottom here is our reference. So you can see we've got, next to our step down, we've got two little components, but here they're missing. So everything else appears to be in place, but we're gonna need to get these two put back, and then I think this will work. I hope. So, let me grab a parts board. Parts. Let's grab some parts. Man, this stuff is just stupid small. Okay. That's what we're dealing with. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know which one of those two that is, so we're just going to remove it. Look at that, like magic. Let's get the other one. I think that's close enough. Should get pulled into place. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. Oof, man. 3 repair streams. I better get this thing working. I got a good feeling about it though, because I know those particular components in that particular area of the board definitely will cause issues like that. Oh, I had to jinx myself though. That's so sad. Alright, well, yeah, I'll have to give up on their amplifier board. We'll pick another board out of this, this parts pot I've got here. Need to hydrate after that. This HomePod in particular is one of my personal HomePods that I had actually bought off Goodwill's auction website like 2 years ago. But the catch was that it was broken. The other catch was it was actually still under AppleCare warranty, so I was able to buy the broken one off Goodwill's website and then get it replaced under warranty. So this is the replacement that Apple sent me. And chances are it's going to have that 46K or 48K dated diode in there that they promise was fixed in the refurbished ones. They promise it was replaced. They'll swear left and right to you and take your money for one. Now, this HomePod was still working perfectly fine when I took it apart a few weeks ago for its logic board to do one of those repairs for somebody. It's just been sitting around waiting for me to use the rest of its parts. But of course, I've needed more logic boards than anything else, and so I've got a whole bunch of headless HomePods without logic boards, but everything else. Let's see. 3.6K. So they got lucky this time. Can't make an example out of them this time around. Okay, we are going to give this new filters since all of the originals are starting to fail and have death farts. And then we'll put this back together. Perfect. And then they scoot together at the last second. That's just fantastic. All right. So in total, we found a number of problems wrong with their amplifier and fixed all of that, but it still won't power on at all. The microphone board also needed replaced. It had a chip broken off. And the display didn't seem to be working either. But luckily, after we fixed those pins on the logic board, that at least started working too. So quite the workout on this one. I mean, it's been a while since we've spent this long on getting one fixed, but I figured let's give it a shot. I want to try to fix this. I don't want to just replace it. That'd be boring. Oh, that's right. We ripped the shields off of this. Let's get some new ones on there. Oh, I think we're skipping a few screws, aren't we, here? There we go. Very cool. So cool. You better work. Ah, look at that.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the home app.
That
I'm having trouble.
looks and sounds fantastic. Alright, let's take a look at our next repair. This one is from Jose M. We got 2 Jose's in one day. How about that? Let's see what's up with their HomePod. No power. Alright. After this Jose, we've got, I think that was Amanda, which I think is a pretty neat name. Alright. Alright. No power, you say? It would appear so. We've got 6 watts of draw at the wall, nothing happening at the top. Let's crack it open and give it some new parts. We're not just gonna fix the power issue, we're also going to replace those DC filters that if you've watched any of our past repairs, you've seen us replace plenty of times. But those are the ceramic capacitors that naturally decay over time and lose their effectiveness, which leads to death farts and bass issues. So we're starting to see the originals around this age starting to fail. So every HomePod that comes through here gets new filters in their repairs. Makes repairs a teeny bit more expensive, but I think people would rather pay a couple extra bucks to do that now than pay to ship their HomePod back to us in a matter of a year or two for repairs again for a different issue. And it seems to be paying off. The past year, I've had a few come back to me that tested fine for filters, and that's what we did for the longest time. We tested the filters in every repair, and we only replaced them if they tested bad, which quite often they were. But there were also quite a lot of them that were perfectly fine, and we didn't want to add any unnecessary risk replacing parts that were perfectly fine. But the past year we've started getting one-offs coming back to us because they started having death farts, even though their filters tested fine when we had it. So there it is, that's how we do it. A little bit of 99%. Swirl it around. That'll help release that glue that's holding the speaker basket down. And here's where that rubbing alcohol gets handy. It makes this a lot easier. Sometimes easy enough to just pull this up by hand, but usually you still gotta give it a couple of tries. Good smelling subwoofer. Always sniff those subwoofers. A good smelling subwoofer will never smell bad. Wait. But a bad subwoofer may not always smell bad, but a good subwoofer is never going to smell bad. That's what I was trying to say. So if it smells bad, even though it's working fine still, it's probably on its way out and it needs to get replaced. Yeah, you don't want to torque these power supply screws too hard. They tend to break. And sometimes the factory's thread locker gets really aggressive. So you gotta loosen it, tighten it a few times and really work that adhesive or that thread locker free before you can really remount them sometimes and get them out. All right, filters first. Here we go. Beautiful. Let's get the diode replaced. That's the actual source of their power issues. Yep, dated for 8K. Yet again, no surprise there. Hey, welcome back. You know, we haven't been able to make any progress on that second gen yet. I should have time this weekend to poke at it a little more and maybe make some progress. I'm not feeling too optimistic about it though, nothing's sticking out. I'm wondering if maybe there's a fuse somewhere on the amplifier that blew up, because we're just not seeing much any signs of life, and no shorts either. But I'm as eager as you guys to figure it out. Get some flux on that little tap next door so we can straighten that back up when we put this diode back on. I bumped it a little bit. It's probably fine the way it is, but it would drive me crazy with it being crooked. There we go. Yeah, I think this weekend we'll be able to do another live stream where we troubleshoot some more on that second gen HomePod with new power and hopefully figure it out. Nothing beats getting something broken for free and getting it working again. That is like one of the best satisfactions in life. I get free broken stuff from work all the time, and it's quite often it's usually just things that need updates in order to fix it, or it's got a scratch or dent, so even then there's not much, if anything, to fix. But it's the ones that got thrown out because they were broken and you get it working again, those are the best. And 2012 too, yeah, with Monterey, that should still handle, like even YouTube and plenty of web browsing just fine. I think I need a new chair. When you undo the top of the HomePod, does it stick firmly back on with the original adhesive? That's a good question. And that's why you see us using the hot air here, because it makes it nice and sticky again. And if we line it up right and stick it back on there while it's still warm, it works just about as good as new. If that doesn't work for you, you can kind of try to put a bunch of rubbing alcohol on your hands and kind of scrub the adhesive clean first, and then use the heat gun to dry it up and make it nice and sticky. Otherwise, you can just clean it up and use any generic double-sided tape, really.
I'm having trouble
Like, we've
connecting
never
to the
had
internet.
any of these,
I'm having trouble.
we've never had any of these that we've repaired pop back off in shipping or at any time once people have gotten it back. Holds up real well. Alright. Let's see what we've got for Ananda here. Stopped working. No light, no sound. Easy peasy. Alright, let's give this a quick check and see what it's doing. Yep, definitely no power and about 4 watts of draw at the wall. That tells us it's the exact same problem that we've been fixing up here. Just needs a new diode. And yeah, we'll give it some new filters while we're in there, of course. Ooh, got some weird white spotting in there. Doesn't look like anything spilled on it. Subwoofer checks out. Sorry about that. Had to answer a quick little work chat. Let's see, what were we doing with this one? We were taking it apart. I think we're done. It's ready to get fixed. Yes, it is. Let's give some filters first, and then we'll fix up that power problem with the diode. That's what happens when you try and try. You make it worse. It was good before I goofed it. There we go. Don't want to overwork it. These are pretty tough pads here, but if you overwork it, you could risk scratching your pads off. And then you're in for a tough time. Beautiful. Didn't even need to correct any of them. Let's get that diode. There it is, 46K. Back together you go.
I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble.
Aren't we all? You are all fixed up and good to go. We've got the energy for one more here. This one is Ralph. No power. Looks like they tried to take it apart themselves. You can't hide it from me. I'm a little nervous to plug this in and try it out, but let's go ahead and risk it. Yeah, okay, so it looks like the usual power draw for a dead diode on these HomePods. Let's take a look here. Interesting. Those are not the right screws, but I'm sure you knew that. Alright, yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and replace this whole bit here. I think it might have gotten stripped out. See, and that's probably as far as they got, if I had to guess. Let's see here. Oh, no, I see pry marks. Oh, and you're missing all your thingies that cover these screws. And you're missing a screw. It's okay, I got you covered on these. That's no problem. Looks like the basket's a little cracked over here too, but that's not a problem because the basket doesn't actually seal anything up. Everything that's sealed is from the subwoofer down. Yeah, that looks like it's about as far as they got there. Subwoofer looks good. this is... I forgot to update the name on the screen. I'm so sorry, Ralph. This has been your HomePod. Alright, first up, a little bit of maintenance. We'll give it some new filters to keep those death farts away. And then we'll take care of the actual power problem with the faulty diode. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. That's not good. If you strip a screw out, usually one Torx size up fits in it enough to get it out. Let's try another one. That looks much better. Hopefully this isn't a problem. It looks like they put a long screw in a short hole at some point. Oh, and there's no drawstring left. That's unfortunate for me. We'll make it work. Alright, I see some drawstring. Can we save it? Oh, give me that. Oh, that's definitely not long enough to reach, though. That's okay. That is alright. We'll make this work. That's why they had this on the other side. Because the strings were too short to wrap around the right way. I think we'll have to do the same. Okay. Let's see what we can come up with here. Not bad. Welcome, Tim. Looks like I still have 2 more, but I don't know if we'll get to them. We're gonna see here in a minute. This one's powering up. Excellent. Folks, give me a few minutes. Let me go see if we've got time to fix up 2 more that are waiting up, or if we need to save them for tomorrow. Take a break, take a second, go get a drink, get a bathroom, and we'll be right back. Yeah, I got time.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Excellent. Alright, the next one up is from Peter. Peter with bad bass. Uh-oh, I see packing peanuts. Sir, you're getting every single one of those packing peanuts back.
I'm married to the idea of helping people.
I wasn't talking to you. Let's see what we're dealing with. I heard a bit of a pop. Yeah, that's definitely a roasted bass speaker. Sounds like we've got too much DC offset. Those filtering capacitors that we always talk about seem to have gone bad a little too soon on this HomePod and roasted that woofer. I'm kind of surprised we've still got like 5 people watching right now. Appreciate you all sticking around. And 4 of you for leaving a like too. You get on there. You get in there. Doobity boop, boobity bop bop. We can find out without even going any further if that subwoofer is the source of their lack of bass. Ooh. It should not sound like that. I bet you if I poke hard enough that'll... Ugh, that's crunchy. Well, good thing we just pulled a few good subwoofers. Thank you for the words of encouragement, Tim. And it's always nice to see a familiar name drop by once in a while, too. And thank you, Duncan. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, I don't even need to smell that. That should not sound like that. Definitely a roasted subwoofer. Looky here, though, we've got another good one ready to go. Where do you find your donor pods? Well, for the longest time, they were quite affordable on eBay. But unfortunately, as of recently, people have been charging, in my opinion, too much for the broken ones. Especially the broken ones with fewer reusable parts than others. Like the ones with blinking volume buttons, those ones I don't really need because those have a bricked logic board, and that's usually what I need because you can't fix them. It's just a software issue that Apple locks us out of fixing. So you have to buy a broken HomePod. The ones with no power are good because they still usually have perfectly fine logic boards. But at the same time, the ones with no power are also perfectly repairable. So it's like there's no point in buying a broken one with no power to take its logic board if you could just fix its amplifier and get the whole thing working again anyways. Aside from all of that, yeah, just to answer your question, where I used to find all of my donor pods on eBay when they were more affordable, but thanks to somebody showing how to fix them up and that you can fix them, the prices for them seem to have gone up and availability gone down. So I still thankfully have quite a few parts sitting around, but I've ran out of logic boards, so I can't offer the repairs for the ones with blinking volume buttons because that's just a replacement logic board automatically. And I had to crack into a few of my own personal HomePods for some parts too. Unfortunately, there's just no good, like, steady source for parts. Alright, so we have got the amplifier out. You might be wondering if the subwoofer was clearly destroyed, why do we have the amplifier out? And that is because we've got to fix the cause for that subwoofer blowing up. The subwoofer doesn't typically just have a meltdown like that on its own. It's usually those filters on the back of the amp that go bad, let too much DC voltage through and into the woofer, which roasts it. Go ahead and search on Google why DC voltage is bad for your speakers if you want to know more about that. Let's take a look around the board and see if anything else got blown up in the process. And I'm also curious, we do have a 36K date code on our diode, so this is not going to cause any power issues for us. We don't need to worry about replacing this. Over here next to the subwoofer connector, we've got the 10 ohm resistor that's clearly in rough shape. So we'll get this resistor replaced. We're going to get these filters replaced first. These are what went bad and caused all of this. And then we'll put this together with that replacement subwoofer and it should be all good to go. Beautiful. Almost. There we go. That'll keep those death farts away for years to come. Unfortunately, you just can't avoid it. The ceramic capacitor naturally decays over time and loses its effectiveness, so they will need to be replaced again one day. But they should be good for many, many more years at least. Now. Let's see if we can't get this up without taking a heat gun to it. Look at that. Let's get a new 10 ohm resistor. We'll go ahead and put it in upside down because we're feeling fancy today. Alright. That should make this HomePod full of bass again. We are missing a screw. Oh, it's hiding. That's why you need a clean workspace.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
There we go.
I'm having trouble.
That is base. We've got one more to fix up here and we'll be all caught up. This is from Jeff and Roslyn with no power. So let's get this opened up here. Here it is. How's work going on the cars? Well, I'm happy to say as of right now I've got all of my cars back and none of them currently need anything, and I'm just taking it easy now and we're just gonna drive the things for a bit. You know, enjoy what we've got. I literally yesterday picked the right-hand drive Z32 back up from the shop after they snafu'd their whole timing belt job and destroyed the engine, literally. But they did a whole top-end rebuild of the engine themselves, and it took them a month and a half, but they did it right, and I got the car back, and everything seems to be running great. So all is well with the world again. It's been so long that it feels weird seeing the car in my driveway again. But yeah, all the cars seem to be running and driving perfectly fine now. So we've got the wife's 2015 and a half Volvo XC60 T6 Premier. We've got my 1989 right-hand drive Z32 twin turbo Fairlady Z. And I've got the 1986 Nissan 300ZX that has been running and driving fantastically after I did the turbo swap and manual transmission swap. Oh dude, trust me, as soon as I own a house and I have the property and the space for a lift, it's game over. It's game over. The project cars will be actually project cars, not daily drivers that I pretend to be project cars. Yeah, if I didn't rent the place that I currently live at, it would have a lift. It would have had a lift years ago. Oh, you bet. All jokes aside, though, the 1986 Nissan 300ZX is pure definition project car. I just cannot stand having it inoperable on jack stands for more than like a week. I get too obsessed with it and I knock out. I get done what it needs to get done, so I can keep driving it. I don't like them being off the road. I like driving them. Yeah, I know a lot of people get project cars because the fun part is never driving it and always working on it in your garage, but I'm not that guy. To a degree. I definitely like doing my own upgrades and maintenance, but I also definitely like getting done with it and just driving the stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to afford a house by the end of the year. I might end up just having to move over to the other side of this state, move in with my grandparents, and just inherit their property. From the looks of it, that's gonna be the only way I'm realistically gonna ever own property. Which is nuts. I've got a full-time job that already pays me 6 figures, plus this, which is its own part-time job that pays at least minimum wage. This isn't chump change. I've got the kid that costs a fair bit of money, but I'm also not making money, and I still can't afford a home. It's nuts. And not just that, but like, my raises are being far outpaced by my routine rent increase. I make less and less every year, even though I get a raise every year, because my rent goes up more than my raise. What's up with that? $600K, man. Yeah, 600 to 800K is about where I'm expecting to pay for any house that is gonna work for us. Over here, at least. Which, like, if most of my work is going to be remote and mail-in repairs, that's perfectly fine. But I also kind of wanted to open up, like, a garage. Like a storefront. It would be this really cool, like, cars, coffee, computer, and cosmetics kind of deal where you could pull up, you could get your oil changed, you could get your phone or your laptop worked on, enjoy some coffee while you wait, and get your nails or hair done. And if you're a dude, don't tell me you don't need your hairs or nail did. Man, go get your nails done. Go get a pedicure. Go get a manicure. No manly man bullshit. Go get it done. Try it out and tell me how you feel after. It's absolutely worth it. Alright, so we've got no power. We've got a 46K dated diode, so no surprises there. First up, though, we're going to do a little bit of maintenance, of course, with some replacement filters to keep those death farts away. We don't want the same thing happening to Jeff's HomePod that happened to Ralph's HomePod right before this guy here, and have a blown up bass speaker shortly after getting no power. Not that that happened to Ralph, but Ralph's HomePod suffered the bass speaker meltdown because of these filters in particular. So we're gonna replace them. Like we do in all of the pods that come through here now, because Well, we're hitting that 5 to 7 year mark on the original production run. And that's about how long these filters are starting to last. At least the ones that Apple used. And yeah, there's dozens and dozens and probably hundreds of other capacitors on the amplifier board here that are probably just as bad, if not worse. But the reason why these fail and matter the most is because we're talking about millivolts of DC voltage getting through the amp that can cause problems. So it needs to be pretty much perfect. Unlike a lot of other excuse me, other applications capacitors are used for, where a drop in capacitance, ironically, doesn't really matter so much, but here, it really matters. We got 9 people watching now? Where are y'all coming from? Did one of my coworkers, find out that I do this kind of stuff and share a link with everyone else at the office, and they're pointing and laughing at me right now? Alright, maintenance done. Let's take care of the actual problem. Alright, I got enough of you watching here. Maybe 1 or 2 of you can go on to Twitter. Follow, you don't even have to follow me, but I have a Twitter account, Unbendable Straw. Don't ask me why I picked that name. Go find my Twitter account and repost or share my pinned tweet complaining about the bricked logic boards on HomePods. Because we really need to do something about it before nothing can be done about it and no one cares. And everything just becomes a bunch of e-waste. I'm sitting on literally hundreds of the logic boards for first gen HomePods that could be perfectly reusable, except Apple is blocking us from fixing them. We're literally 1 click away from being able to save tens of thousands of HomePods, and Apple said, nah, man, screw you. Hey Kay, welcome to the stream. And best of luck on your HomePod repair too. Take it easy, take it slow, take your time. Plenty of other people have successfully done it with no experience. I'm sure you can too. Watching from Norway. No idea why YouTube recommended my stream. That's interesting. Is electronics repair even like an interest of yours, or is this completely out of field for you? What are the details of the logic board break? Is it just some firmware updating issue? No. So it seems to be that the software just becomes, well, it's a mix. Some of them are update issues, some of them are just corrupt file systems, and because there's no way to restore them, well, there is a way to restore them. You just connect a USB cable to the debug port on the bottom, and you could click restore. I got details on the website. Go to the common issues section, go to the blinking volume buttons, and that's about all the details I've got at the moment. Why can't you just connect the UART header and flash it? Well, that's a good question. And to answer your question, what exactly would we be flashing it with? That's the problem. We don't have anything to flash onto it. We need a copy of good firmware in order to flash onto it. UART isn't even necessary. You've got USB and UART. And like, you plug it into a Mac and it opens up Finder and it gives you a button to restore the software. And so you click the button and it reaches out to Apple's servers, and Apple's servers say, we don't have any firmware for you, sorry. So that's the situation right now. To the best of our abilities, it seems perfectly physically possible, but we're just blocked because we don't have a copy of any good firmware. We don't have a way to get it, and Apple's blocking access to it. The firmware is okay. So if I had $1 for every time somebody asked me, "Have you tried IPSW-me yet?" I would legitimately have enough money to buy Apple and force them to fix this shit. At the top of the page, when you go to IPSW-me and you go to the HomePod files, it straight up tells you these files cannot be used to restore. The only files available for the first gen HomePods, unfortunately, are the OTA files, which aren't good enough for us consumers. There is a turbo nerd on the Apple TV subreddit that managed to restore a bricked Apple TV with an OTA file, but it was really complicated. Not something that I can just sit down and figure out, but something that we might be able to figure out with some time. And I've actually been working with them too on it. I'm just, unfortunately, I have no time to sit down and put together a lot of what it would take. It would be best to have a Mac laptop that has an Intel processor, because the M chips screw things up, and that's unfortunately all I've got working at the moment. I could get another one working, but it takes time, and time these days. It's insane how much of my time has disappeared. No, you're perfectly fine. You couldn't have known that I get asked that all the time. Chef Hawk, welcome. Another one. Good to see you around again, mate. But, sad to say, we're pretty much almost done here. We gotta screw these screws in, heat the top back on, and that'll be it for this stream. Damn, we've been going at it for 2.5 hours. It's been a minute since we've, gone this long. Oh, okay. Let's get this on. I am starting. I need some food, man. What is for dinner tonight? I think we're making some lemon chicken. HelloFresh inspired. Not sponsored by HelloFresh. Hell, we're not even using HelloFresh provided ingredients. We're just stealing from the recipe. You've been lurking for about an hour. Oh, that's great. Okay. I hope this is an end to a fantastic Friday stream. Here we go. Folks, that's everything fixed up. And we're all caught up. Nothing is waiting to get fixed. Well, we've got that second gen HomePod we've got to figure out, but if you aren't yet, go ahead and subscribe and stay tuned for that live stream, hopefully this weekend, where we take another shot at that second gen HomePod with no power. Really hoping that that's just a one-off here and we're not going to see a whole nother HomePod-demic of power issues here, but
I'm having trouble connecting to
beautiful.
I'm having trouble.
Perfect. Folks, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and